burned at the stake for her beliefs, and Askew's execution remains one of the most brutal and controversial moments in Tudor England. But what made her death so horrifying? Why does her story still haunt us centuries later? Anne Askew was born in 1521 in Lincolnshire, England, at a time when the country was gripped by religious upheaval. Her family, initially Catholic, did not understand her growing commitment to Protestantism, a movement that rejected the papacy and the traditional Catholic doctrines. For Anne, it was not just a set of beliefs, it was a personal transformation that would define her life. As a young woman, Anne married Thomas Kyme, a man from a wealthy family, but their marriage was not a happy one. Anne's religious convictions put a strain on their relationship, and she eventually left him in an age where divorce was almost unheard of, especially for women. Anne's decision to leave her husband for her faith was a radical one. She began to immerse herself in Protestant literature, reading forbidden works and spreading Protestant ideas to others. Her actions would eventually place her in direct conflict with the authorities. This was the reign of Henry VIII, who in 1534 broke from the Catholic Church and established the Church of England. The subsequent years were marked by religious turbulence, as Henry's successors continued to flip between Catholicism and Protestantism with severe consequences for those on either side of the debate. The laws that emerged during this period were draconian. The Act of 6 Articles passed in 1539 made Protestant beliefs punishable by death. Catholics and Protestants alike were eager to root out any opposition to the state religion, creating a climate of fear and suspicion. And, as a Protestant reformer, was squarely in the crosshairs of these new laws. Still, she did not back down. She continued to preach and distribute Protestant literature, even as the dangers to her life grew. Anne's refusal to conform to the prevailing religious norms did not go unnoticed. In 1545 she was arrested by the authorities, accused of heresy and spreading Protestant propaganda. The charges were serious. Those found guilty of heresy could face death, but Anne was undeterred. Her first trial came under the supervision of Bishop Bonner of London, a man notorious for his brutal tactics in rooting out heresy. Anne's responses to his questions during the interrogation were sharp and bold. She denounced the Catholic Mass and questioned the role of the Pope. Her demeanor was unwavering, and she stood firm in her faith even when faced with the prospect of torture. But the authorities were not satisfied with simply imprisoning her. They wanted to break her spirit. Anne was arrested again, this time facing even greater pressure. They attempted to force her to give up the names of her fellow reformers, but Anne refused to betray them. Her determination to keep their identities secret, despite the threat of death, demonstrated the unshakable resolve she had in her beliefs. After her arrest, Anne was sent to the notorious Tower of London, a place reserved for the most dangerous prisoners. Here she faced the most harrowing part of her ordeal, torture. The rack, an instrument designed to stretch the body beyond its limits, was used on and in an attempt to break her will. As her limbs were pulled, causing her bones to crack and her muscles to tear, Anne was forced to endure unimaginable pain. Yet even in her torment, Anne remained resolute. She refused to name any other Protestants or denounce her faith. Her refusal to give in, even under the most extreme conditions, made her a symbol of strength and defiance. She became one of the few women in history to endure the rack without breaking, a testament to her courage in the face of unimaginable pain. The mental and physical toll of her ordeal was profound, but Anne's spirit remained intact. Her ability to withstand such agony is a testament to her conviction, making her an enduring figure in the history of religious persecution. Anne's refusal to compromise, even after all that she had suffered, led to her final horrifying fate. She was sentenced to death by burning at the stake. On July 16, 1546, Anne was taken from the Tower and dragged through the streets of London to the execution site at Smithfield. She was physically weak, her body broken from the torture, and she was unable to walk. She was carried to the stake, a grim procession in front of a crowd of spectators. As Anne was tied to the stake, the flames were set, and the excruciating agony began. It is said that even as she burned, she maintained her composure, crying out in prayer to God. Her final words were a powerful declaration of her faith: "I die for the love of God and for the gospel of Jesus Christ." In the face of death, and strength never faltered. Her martyrdom became a symbol of her unwavering commitment to her beliefs, and her story inspired those who witnessed her execution as well as generations to come. Her tragic death marked the culmination of her defiance and her refusal to submit to religious oppression. Anne Askew's execution sent shockwaves through both the Protestant and Catholic communities. It became a powerful reminder of the dangers of religious intolerance and the harsh realities faced by reformers during the Tudor period. Anne's death, however, did not mark the end of her impact. Her writings, including her interrogations and her poems, would be published posthumous and circulated among Protestants. These documents, many of which were penned during her time in the Tower, not only detailed her suffering but also expressed her unshakable faith in God. Her words continued to inspire those who sought reform within the Church, and she became a symbol of the martyrdom endured by those who resisted the authorities. Anne's legacy also sparked conversations about women's roles in religion and resistance. Though many of the Protestant martyrs were men, Anne's courage in the face of persecution highlighted the pivotal role that women played in the religious upheavals of the time. Anne Askew's story forces us to confront the price of unwavering conviction. Her execution was not just the end of her life, it was the start of her legacy as a symbol of courage, faith, and defiance against tyranny. If this story inspired you, do not forget to like the video and share it with others so that the courage of Anne Askew is never forgotten. Your support keeps these powerful voices alive and helps us continue to bring untold histories to light. Every share spreads awareness, every like strengthens the memory of those who stood firm in the face of oppression. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on these powerful journeys from the past. Together, we can preserve the legacy of courage, faith, and defiance that still echoes through time. History is not just about the past, it is about the lessons we carry forward. Let these stories remind us of the strength that conviction can give and the price that many paid to keep their beliefs alive. Stand with us in honoring their voices and in keeping history alive for generations to come.